Finally some Battlefield gameplay. I've been waiting for this game so long, and it's just amazing. It looks amazing, it sounds amazing, except for when stuff like this happens. This was a problem in Battlefield 4 too. We had players' butts sticking out of the drain bogey, glitching out of the wall. You could see players taking cover inside buildings. So that's something DICE has to look into, because that's always been a problem in Battlefield. It was there in 3, it was there in 4, and apparently it's there in 1 too. But yeah, it's not a big deal. Such stuff is always going to be a part of the game. But yeah, if you're hiding inside a building, you think you're not visible to the enemy, but in fact you are, and that you just end up looking like an idiot, and it's an easy kill for the enemy. So yeah, not a lot of. I'll be basically be playing Assault about 70% of the game, and towards the end there's a little bit of tank gameplay. I'm not the very best in tank, but I'm not bad either. I get around. But yeah, I mean, I have played this game just less than 5 hours, so I'm still getting good at it, still understanding the game mechanics. But overall, the principles of the game are pretty much the same as Battlefield 4, sorry. Yeah, but the scoring system has changed a bit, so there's no point of I mean, there is a point if you're one of those players who just plays the game for kills. That's your style, but my style is more trying to get on top of the scoreboard. And yeah, as you can see, I'm number 3 there, and if I'm playing a game, I generally do like to stay MVP or as high as possible as I can. And the only way to do it in Battlefield, it was pretty much, I mean, in 4 too, you had to cap points to stay on top of the game. But if you were in a vehicle like a chopper or something, and you were really good at it, you could still end up the MVP and be top scorer. But I think that's going to be pretty hard in Battlefield 1. So the only way you're going to achieve that is by capturing points and playing the objective, and that's what DICE wants. They want people to play the objective, get on points. So players are going to be heavily rewarded for capturing points, and that's what I'm going to do right now. And this assault class is really pretty worthless on this map. I mean, you should know how to use it to be good at it, because it's going to be really good in close quarters, but really bad for anything above medium range or long range. I mean, it's just, if there's a sniper and you're like, there's a lot of distance between you, empty spaces, you're going to lose it, because this gun has wicked recoil, and you're also going to dominate in close quarters, because a lot of players are running around with sniper rifles and rifles, so you have the rounds per minute advantage over them. So yeah, and I kind of messed up over here. So see, it's very important that you have your squad spawn on you as soon as possible, and my squad is really playing on a random lobby. You can't really depend on people. So spawn again, try again, keep trying, capture the point. And yeah, I'm using anti-tank grenades on infantry. Well, use everything to your advantage, and that's it. And here's another example of the wicked recoil. It just guns just all over the place. Anything that is like even medium range combat, you're gonna have to tap fire, and it's really hard to do that. So you have to really practice it and get used to the bullet drop and the recoil. But yeah, close range, it's perfect. It's just amazing at close range. Yeah, and that's one of the most brutal melees I've ever seen on Battlefield. Yeah, and talking about the melee, it has gotten much more brutal, but there are still some issues about it. And I think Jack Frags recently did a video about called Everything Wrong with and Right with Battlefield 1, and in that he also spoke about the melee problem, that the bayonet charge and the melee should have different keys to them, because sometimes you just end up doing a bayonet charge when you really just wanted to do a normal melee kill, and then you end up looking like an idiot. And I did end up looking like a really big idiot, and that was pretty embarrassing. But take a look at this shot. Just wait, and there it is. Headshot. So yeah, I mean, the horses are a really great way to get around points. Like from point G to point D, there's quite a lot of distance, so you're never going to do that on foot. You're going to get picked off pretty easy. So you're going to need horses to do that. But between points B, C and D, you can do that on foot. So as if you're an infantry player, stick to these 3 points. These 3 points are the most important capture points on the map, because there'll be players running around trying to capture and hold B, C and D. Even A to some extent, but then again you're going to need cavalry or some form of transportation to get to Alpha, because you're just going to end up you're going to spend a lot of time traveling between A and B, and you really have a lot of high chances to get picked off by snipers from D. So it's better to stick to those 3 points if you're an infantry player. But if you like to hop in the tank, sometimes it's gonna be a huge advantage to you, because you can shuffle between 4 points. And I'm not one of the best tank players, but I can get away with it. Not like one-on-one tank battles, I win some of them, I lose some of them, so I'm not like one of the best tank guys over there. But yeah, I can manage my way around the map in a tank. So yeah, the secondary weapon of the tank, I don't know what it's called, but it's probably those shells which it fires at infantry, and it's not very consistent, because you're going to see an example of this, that sometimes it destroys infantry, and which it should, and sometimes even if you fire directly at the infantry, you miss, like that shot. And I'll miss one more shot in a few moments, and it's like I'm dusting infantry. Either that, or I'm still not used to the tank. See, it worked amazing over there, and right now I'm going to dust. See that? How did it not work? Yep, and I'm going to get destroyed over here. Pretty embarrassing. Yeah, and this pistol is all over the place. That was one of the most embarrassing deaths I've ever had in Battlefield. Well, at least in Battlefield 1. But yeah, shit happens. Get on with it. If you see a free tank in your base or at a point, just jump into it. What else? You have to help your team somewhere. There's no point of the tank sitting in base and doing nothing. So even if you're not a tank player, just get into it. How bad can it? How much worse can it get? At the most, you're just going to die, but at least you'll probably get on the point and just cause some kind of mayhem or chaos, even if you're not going to kill anybody. But yeah, the tanks, people are complaining about the tanks, and DICE has already said that they're going to nerf the tank, which I don't think is a good idea, because this map is weak. It's a vehicle based map, so tanks are supposed to be dominant in this map. So I don't know, if they decide to nerf it, the tank may probably not be really effective in maps which are, very infantry based maps, which a lot of cover, because it's going to be, see, you just saw that guy take me out with 2 anti-tank grenades. So it's pretty possible. People just don't know how to deal with tanks yet. And as soon as the game releases and we have other maps which are more close quartery infantry based map, it's going to be a nightmare for tank drivers. I mean, I'm not even a tank guy, but I can see there are going to be some complaints from their side, because infantry is going to be crawling all over such maps. And just try taking the tank between Bravo and, do they call it Bravo now? I don't know, but I'm still going to call it Bravo. Try taking your time between B and C. You're totally going to get destroyed by anti-tank grenades just flying out from every window. So I think the DICE has made an early decision on nerfing the tanks, and they might have to buff it in the future if they have already decided. But yeah, the main way of getting on top of the scoreboard in this game is get on the burn, get on the points, and just kill every infantry you see on the point. See, I know you're never gonna. I didn't even fire a single shell at that time because I knew it was a heavy tank and I had no chance anyway. So I tried to kill as many guys as I could, and that's it. So another problem with this game is, I mean, the scoring issue. I mean, I personally prefer the Battlefield 4 way of yep. I mean, hold on to that. I just want to show you an example of the melee. That was a really good melee, and obviously it's just like a bayonet charge. And just take a look at this shit. Yeah, you end up looking like a fucking moron, because I mean, this is where the problem is, and that's what I was talking about. There should be a different key for the bayonet charge and the normal melee, because I wanted to do a melee and I ended up running around the roof looking like a complete idiot. That guy must have thought, what a dumb fuck. See, the melee is on point at some places, but it's totally, they have to like figure out a way balancing the bayonet charge and the melee. Little got overconfident over there, but yeah, the bayonet charge has to be fixed, because you end up just doing a bayonet charge when you really just want to melee the fucking guy, and you end up looking like an idiot. Yeah, so the problem with this scoring system is, if one team goes behind, say 50 tickets, it's really hard to make a comeback on that. And if this game lasted about a minute and a half or 2 minutes longer, we would have lost, because they had about 5 points and we just had 2. So the only way to make a comeback is by holding like 90% of the points. So that's just it. I mean, it's still the beta. There's a long way to go, and they still managed to get the score pretty even, and no chance of the train coming, because I think there has to be a difference of about 80 or 100 or something. I'm not really sure, but yeah, that's when the train comes. And yep, that was my third or fourth game of Battlefield 1. Still a long way to learn and to understand the game mechanics, but yeah, the same principles are the same, and that's how you get on top of the scoreboard.